There was a massive showdown in the White House. The American President Donald Trump watched a volley of attacks being exchanged between billionaire advisor Elon Musk and the Secretary of State Marco Rubio. After 7 weeks of his new administration, the American president, it appears, is trying to rein in Elon Musk, saying that cabinet secretaries will have the final say on staffing and policy at their agencies. Now, Donald Trump called for a meeting of his cabinet secretaries on Thursday to discuss Elon Musk and his efforts in slashing government spending and personnel numbers. Now, according to media reports, the meeting turned into a pretty heated one. Now, Elon Musk accused the Secretary of State Marco Rubio of failing to cut enough staff at the State Department. Now, in Trump's presence, he reportedly told off Rubio that he was merely good on TV. The American Secretary of State said that the tech billionaire was not considering the 1,500 State Department officials who took early retirement in buyouts, adding a sarcastic jab on whether those people were to be hired again, so a show of firing them could be made again. Now, the billionaire has also clashed with the Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy over whether the DOGE task force had tried to lay off air traffic controllers who were already in short supply in the Federal Aviation Administration. Now, Duffy's department has been under scrutiny for multiple airline crashes during his rather short term so far. He spoke in defense of air traffic controllers, some of whom, he said, Musk's aides were trying to fire. Now, the meeting appears to have made it pretty clear that the U.S. cabinet secretaries have hit their breaking point with Elon Musk's efforts to steamroll the federal government. This at a time when reports suggest that the Department of Veteran Affairs is planning to reduce its workforce by more than 80,000 people. Further, after the White House named Amy Gleason as the DOGE's administrator, a Trump government lawyer during a court hearing said that he didn't know as to who was a leading DOGE prior to Gleason being named, which prompted the judge to express skepticism and to call the matter highly suspicious. Now, Trump seems to have been left with no choice but to intervene. He said that while he still supports Elon Musk's mission, from now on the secretaries will be in charge and Musk's team will only advise.
So I had a meeting and I said, I want the cabinet members go first, keep all the people you want, everybody that you need. And it would be better if they were there for 2 years instead of 2 weeks, because in 2 years they'll know the people better. But I want them to do the best job they can. When we have good people, that's precious. It's very important, and we want them to keep the good people. And so we're going to be watching them, and Elon and the group are going to be watching them. And if they can cut, it's better. And if they don't cut, then Elon will do the cutting.
Now, this encounter is the first indication that Donald Trump is willing to put some limits on the billionaire. These limits could, of course, raise some bigger questions about a role that Elon Musk will play in the government going forward. All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we are joined by Mr. Ray Locker, who is a senior journalist, author and a columnist, who is joining us live on this broadcast. Ms. Locker, this showdown that reportedly took place in a cabinet meeting of Donald Trump, where there was a heated argument between Elon Musk and Marco Rubio. Does it mean that there is now a fallout between Elon Musk, who's been one of the most closest of aides of Donald Trump, and the cabinet of Donald Trump?
Oh, I think that's exactly what it means. I mean, these tensions have been building for the weeks since Trump was inaugurated. I mean, in Musk, you have the world's richest person making decisions that only cabinet officials and Congress should be making. And so it's only logical there would be tensions with the cabinet officers who have to carry out many of these decisions that Musk has been making.
So going forward, considering as to, these tensions have now boiled over, they're out in the open. Going forward, what do you expect would be the role of Elon Musk in Donald Trump's administration?
Well, I think it's going to be pretty much the way it has been. I mean, over the weekend, Trump went down to Florida. Musk was on Air Force One, so he hasn't given up on him. And, the conclusion of the meeting, at least as was reported in the New York Times, was that when Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, and Musk were clashing over air traffic controllers, Trump said, well, you should need to hire more air traffic controllers who graduated from MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is totally unrealistic. So it remains to be seen how much grasp Trump has over the details of any of this. And unless he forcibly goes in and tells Musk and the so-called Department of Government Efficiency to stop doing what it's doing, it's probably going to continue.
All right, we'll have to leave that. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Locker, for joining us with that perspective there.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.